Hi, everybody. I'm getting a little bit of an early start. Ricardo Lewis, what can I tell you? Why is he on this team? I have no damn idea. No idea whatsoever. I mean, Rashard Higgins was demoted so that this idiot could play. I've got no clue what he's doing on the field. I have no idea what Kenny Britt's doing on the field either. As garbage time piles up, and and it's all holding penalties anyway. And now you see in garbage time, it looks like Kaiser is dumping the ball off to his receivers, the checkdowns, instead of when it really mattered in the game itself. It's really disheartening watching something like this because the Ravens really aren't that good. Flacco isn't what he used to be. He's really, with any kind of a pass rush whatsoever, you could hurt him. He's so slow. And if you stop, the third string running back, you're still actually in this game. But that would be asking far too much, So as I sit here on a 3rd and 17 with 1:41 left, watching Kaiser running for his life again, now he doesn't chuck the ball down the field. When the game's all over, even in garbage time, he won't throw the ill-advised pass, but he will earlier in the game. So it goes. We have a moron for a head coach, and I'd like to see Kaiser, the supposedly intelligent one's Wonderlic score, because I don't get any of what I'm watching whatsoever. None of this even makes sense to me. I'm going to put the link up. We're going to put in the Browns post-game. I did catch the Indians just in time. Just to see Cody Allen strike out the last hitter, which was kind of nice. More garbage time, Seth DeValve, who runs about as fast as I do with a bad knee. Here's what I can say, because I'm not going to talk at great length about this, because it really was a shitty performance by the Cleveland Browns, a really seriously shitty performance. So, right off the bat, that's my analysis looking at this. But there's more to it than that. Organizationally, this is the result of having, once again, a disconnect between the front office and the coaching staff. Somehow the wrong players end up on the field. Somehow the wrong players stay forever and the good players get demoted. I don't understand it. I've been watching it for a decade. There's just a total disconnect. Who picks Ricardo Lewis over Rashard Higgins? Somebody who's not paying attention. Because one thing we knew about Higgins is that he has good hands. And I know he's not fast, but we don't have people who can catch the ball. And look at Sammy Coates. The guy's horrible. I mean, you can tell by looking at him. He's got crab claws for hands. And why isn't Keeson Williams playing? Why is Sammy Coates on the field? None of this ever makes sense. It reminds me back when Bernie Kosar told the Browns ownership, look, your best receiver is Keenan McCardell. He's the best one. And he was on the practice squad. And all he had was like a 10-year or 12-year NFL career. And the Browns couldn't pick up on that because they were blinded by the speed equation, but not the hands equation. And we've got a bunch of guys with crab claws out here. They don't, the other thing that's obvious, I mean, without getting on Kaiser, I'll get on him in just a minute, but look at play after play of him back there and watch his wide receivers. They can't get off the line of scrimmage. And you're wondering, why isn't Deshaun Kaiser checking down during the course of games? And the answer is that the check down guy isn't getting off the line of scrimmage. If you take a look at Kevin Hogan, when he came in, he wasn't checking down either. He's gunning it down the field. There is nobody coming across the middle of the field getting off the line of scrimmage. We have a bunch of guys who are unable to run pass patterns. And I don't want to hear ever from a fan again that Ricardo Lewis belongs to the NFL. I would cut him now. To hell with him. I don't care if he can run in a straight line fast. He can't run a pattern and he can't catch a football. And that's all there is to it. There's nothing else to discuss in all of this. So right off the bat, you're putting the quarterback in a position where his receivers aren't getting off the line of scrimmage. Second, except Higgins was getting off the line of scrimmage because he's a more polished route runner, but they don't like him because he's not fast enough, because they don't like quarterbacks who aren't big enough, because they don't like linebackers who are, not fast enough and haven't lost weight, or, your performance on the field doesn't make any difference to these people. It's all this analytical bullshit that drives this organization, and they always make the wrong decision. Now, before I go easy on DeShone Kizer, which I'm simply not going to do, fuck you. I'm Ricardo Lewis. Fuck him. All he did at Auburn was drop passes. This is nothing new, folks. Nothing new at all. DeShone Kizer, what can I tell you about him? Anybody who throws a ball 4 yards behind a receiver in the end zone doesn't have the accuracy necessary to make it in the National Football League. And this was the rap on him at Notre Dame, is that he would make these mystifying throws out of nowhere, and it is, of course, followed him right into the NFL as well. And I got one other thing that I want to say. When you're down 24-10 and you have a 1st and goal, and the play that comes in through the fucking headset from Hugh the Idiot Jackson is a quarterback keeper, we're looking at high school football. Why don't we watch the Avon Lake fucking football team? Why don't we watch the Brunswick High School football team? Why don't we watch Willoughby Heights High School football team? Why don't we just go ahead and watch Canton McKinley high school football, Cincinnati Elder high school football, because that's what we're watching here. What kind of a fucking play call is that when you got some momentum, you can get within a touchdown, and you end up telling your quarterback, okay, the play is you're going to take the snap and you're going to search for a hole. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? Don't you have a play in your entire playbook that's designed when you're in the fucking red zone and you need a quick score? Obviously not. Obviously not. Or if you do, the head coach refuses to have anything to do with it. He refuses. He's going to do it Hugh's way. You're not going to win the game turning the ball over 5 times, that we know. And you want to know what's amazing? What's amazing is I can tell you that you all agree with me 100% because you're not here. The first post-game show, 600 people viewing. Nobody's here because everyone is so sick of the whole fucking thing. It is just the continued, half a step forward, 3 steps back. It's the realization now in week 2, we're 1-15 again. That's the realization, because it isn't just the lack of talent. It's just a mind-numbing collection of players that management has selected, and you wonder, why did they select these guys? How is it possible that every receiver who can't run a pattern and can't catch a pass, that's what we end up with, and we don't draft wide receivers. We don't even get UDFA wide receivers. We don't get any free agent except Kenny Britt, who clearly doesn't want to be here. He's not working. Did you see the pattern? He just ran down the field in the first half. He just kind of trotted down the field and got in the other guy's way. He's not even working. And you heard even what the announcers were saying. The wide receivers are being pinned against the sideline. It's because they can't run fucking patterns. They're being pushed and corralled, herded by defensive backs. In a league where receivers clearly have the advantage, our guys can't get off the line of scrimmage and get open. And even if they are open, our quarterback isn't accurate enough to get the ball into their hands. It's just like looking at the same thing. It's Derek Anderson all over again. Oh, he's got a strong arm, doesn't he? But he doesn't know where in the fuck it's going. It was like Paul Shuey in his rookie year. Wow, he throws it really fast, but fuck, where's it going? What is the point? What is the exercise in all of this? And I'll tell you something else. People don't have migraine headaches and suddenly recover in 45 minutes. It doesn't happen. This reeks of Hugh Jackson. It has Hugh Jackson written all over it. Well, we wanted to see if the other guy gave us a spark. You watch this dumb idiot come in to his post-game press conference and say, we just thought at that point maybe we would just sit down the rookie and he said that his head was bothering him a little, but we thought maybe we could catch a spark with Kevin Hogan. Yeah, like your gas tank can catch a spark from Kevin Hogan. He didn't look like he knew where the fuck the ball was going either. Could you say Boomer Esiason's sailing pass? Well, that's nothing compared to Kevin Hogan, who's throwing basically at skyscrapers. Hugh Jackson is on the sideline saying, no, put it in his numbers. It's like, this is the guy who's the offensive guru. You throw it at their numbers. Yeah. And who was Hogan throwing to when he threw the interception? Maybe he's the one with the migraines and had triple vision, and he only saw 9 Ravens in the pass pattern. It's just remarkable. The ineptitude is just remarkable. As for me, I sit back and watch this and say, hey, I tell it like it is, and I do not back off. The first week, there is hope. This week, there is no hope because we got dope. Dope for a head coach. He's an idiot. He's a moron. Too smart for the room, Hugh. Oh, I'm going to call the quarterback sneak. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell the guy to take a knee if that ball's anywhere in the end zone. I'm going to tell him, Jabril Peppers, don't run it back. We don't want yardage. No, we want to take the ball in the 25. Because for us, that's good field position. You look at the statistics in this game, and it doesn't even begin to tell the whole story, but it tells plenty of the story. I mean, the Cleveland Browns, how do you win when you run the football for 93 yards and 26 of them are from your quarterback? How in the hell, 31 from the quarterbacks. 1/3 of your yardage is from quarterbacks who can't find receivers open and run for their lives. Crowell can't get off the line of scrimmage. What do you say about 37 yards and 10 carries? He actually had a 17-yard carry. That means for the rest of his carries, it was 9 for 20 yards. That's a 2-yard average per rush. What does it tell you? We have no blocking up front, that the scheme doesn't work, that the play calling is all out of whack. It tells us all of that. So Rashard Higgins had 7 receptions for 95 yards. DeValve, the human moving van, had 2 receptions for 61 yards. Duke Johnson had 3 for 59 yards. Njoku, I'm dyslexic, had 3 for 27. And Ricardo Lewis had 2 catches and another drop, and a partridge in a pear tree. And Kenny Britt really earning that $32 million, folks. 1 reception for 2 yards. Fuck him. I don't want to see him ever again. And what can you say? For the second week in a row, 1 receiver single-handedly beats us, and it's a guy who's 74 years old. Ben Watson, 8 receptions for 91 yards. Go figure it. The other thing that doesn't make any damn bit of sense to me is, and I'm seeing the same thing all over again. It's like the tackling for the Browns goes to shit. And everyone says, why is it happening? It's like, could it be that we're 3 and out on every possession because we're trying to throw 30, 40, 50-yard bombs every time we drop back to pass? We don't move the flags, and our defense is just fucking exhausted by the end of the game. Is that possible? How do you allow a guy who just comes up off the practice squad to average 6 yards per carry? Ask the Browns. They're exhausted. The defense is trudging back out onto the field again. It's just horrible. And what can you do when you turn the ball over that many times? You lose. You just quietly lose. And that's the whole deal. You just fucking lose. Taylor had 9 tackles. Kirksey had 9 tackles. Collins, who I think is not looking good, had 7 tackles. Get stiff-armed by a little man like that. Kindred had 7 tackles. Peppers had 5. Schobert, who was much more quiet today, had 5 tackles. But I'll tell you, on the overall defense, we really didn't get into the way that you beat Flacco is to force him to throw off his back foot, and we didn't get into him at all. We didn't get into his grill. And if you don't do that, you're not going to beat him. It's really just that simple. What analysis can I give you in an emotional state after a football game, except that the Cleveland Browns played a lousy football game, a really, truly lousy football game. That's what I can tell you. And when you go on to another team's field and you play a lousy football game like that, you lose. You lose. By the way, Mr. Moohead missed the Houston-Cincinnati game, but he's 100% so far. That's right. The cow is picking up ground in the Pick'em League. Arizona over Indianapolis, barely, but done. Kansas City over Philadelphia, barely, but done. New England over New Orleans, easily. Pittsburgh over Minnesota. Poor Tony the Calf. He's lost Sam Bradford. He had to watch Case Keenum play, and he's whining about the officials loving the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, fuck you. Imagine if you had to play him twice every year for history. I don't want to hear your fucking whining. The Tampa Bay Bucks easily over the Chicago Bears. The Chicago fans are saying, can we play Trubisky, please? We've seen enough of Mike Glennon. Carolina barely over Buffalo, but I picked all these games. Hey, my big pick, Tennessee over Jacksonville. I knew Jacksonville couldn't play 2 good games in a row, and Blake Bortles sucks dog dick. I knew that. I picked that one. And, of course, I picked Cleveland to lose 24-13, and they lost 24-10. So I called the Baltimore score right on the number. What can I tell you? What more do you want to hear from me, man? What more do you want to hear from me? I'm going to analyze this game, I guess, on Monday, tomorrow. You know, your General Dog saying we can look forward to 2 high draft picks. Hugh Jackson's got a website, badcoaching.com. Isn't that the truth? Oh, my God. Big Lurker UK saying they need to cut Britt on Monday. Not the type of guy you want around young players. Bad influence, I agree. He's just got a bad-looking attitude. He's not working at all out there. That's easy to see. And General Dog agrees he should be immediately terminated and cut from the team. There's no effort. He's just walking through his patterns like shadow boxing, you know? No effort whatsoever. Should have left Hogan in there at least to finish the game. He'd have died in there. No, not at all. You know, you're going to live and die with the quarterback you selected from Notre Dame. General Dog's comments, you're not going to fool anyone running the shotgun every play. Migraine shit, that's going to be Hugh's coffin, because this does reek of Hugh's machinations. How long before the black cow of death is invoked? I'll give it a few weeks. I got to be back in Florida for the black cow. He's actually there. I don't bring the black cow with me to Carolina. I leave him in Florida because if I'm flying, I don't want him packed with me. Okay? Plain and simple. Plane goes down. No more Mr. Moohead. Somebody finds the goddamn black cow of death. He lives on. Guess 359. Hughes play calling is giving me a migraine. You got that right. Shotgun formation every play. Yep. Then before I came on the air, oh boy, Moo's going to blow a gasket after this game. They're just bad. I mean, the decisions that are being made, bad. You know? So I'm done talking about it. You're done listening about it. I'll have a little bit more to talk about tomorrow on the show. I'm sorry that this turns out this way, folks. I know we want them to be better. And part of me says, well, you know, this is what you go through with rookie quarterbacks. But, man, you cannot throw a ball 4 yards behind a wide receiver in a compacted end of the field. I don't understand how. And no pressure on you. You step into the throw and you throw it that far off. I don't see that happening at all. I don't get it. Thanks a lot for tuning into this post-game show. Hopefully, and I'll share with you on Monday how the ratings have dropped for this program just because of the Browns' performance. It will be staggering to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you Monday tomorrow on Moohead Radio. And until then, enjoy the rest of your day. The Indians won, so we got that going for us. Take care. Have a good rest of the Sunday. Bye-bye.